Evening, folks. How you doing? I am Middle-Aged Gamer Guy, also known as Mag. Welcome to another Tuesday night gaming chat where we talk about the latest games, news and reviews from the last 7 days or so. Broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube mobile and desktop. Let's see who we've got in the chat. Starting nice and early over on Twitch, we got Gozzo. Good evening. Kindred. Good evening. Danker says evening. The wind has really picked up here on the coast. The internet quality may dip. So we've got it really bad here as well. So God help me, because a couple of weeks ago, I had a power cut halfway through. So let's hope we don't have that. Over on YouTube mobile, Kizra, hi, here for the extra special guest fun. Thank you for being here. Greatly appreciate it. WV Prods UK, hi, I am also here for the special guest. Awesome. Over on Twitch, Chloe, good evening. How are you, lovely? Cheney, hello, mate. He says, it's been a while since I've been this way. Lovely to see you. Good to see you. Matt, good evening. Phantom, good evening. Vagarus says, hellos. I are also here for the special guest. And then Emily, hello, Emily. How are you? Great to see you. The three of us rolling in here like proud parents about to watch their kid in nativity. Correction, 4 of us, as I was going to say. Retro Cesar, hello. How are you doing? Great to see you. What's that? Very well, thank you. Glued to the PC and pages and deep in stream listings. Flame, good evening. Good to see you. Evening, Mag. Sticky Knievel, hello. Good to see you. Spot of the Tism, good evening. How are you? I'm here for the big man, John. Oh, boy, he's bought his fan club tonight. This is brilliant. This is what I like to see. John's got a fan club. All I'm thinking is it's fucking windy. By the way, Mock the Week is good. Would recommend. I'll have to watch that. There you go. Great to see you all. Welcome on in. Before we bring our special guests in, Cheney's separated from the other mugs. Yeah, Cheney's on one platform and you're all on YouTube. It's quite funny. Do we need any Mag fans? We got plenty. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Hello, Rock Muse. How are you, lovely? Great to see. John's got a cold. Before we bring on John as our guest, Polycomical, hello. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Great to see you all over on YouTube and Twitch. We have a fountain of knowledge when it comes to games. Couldn't do the show without him. My co-host that knows the most. Give it up for the one, the only, Mr. David Jones.
Good evening, mate. How you doing?
I'm very well. How are you?
Oh, good. Thank you. Hope everyone in chat's doing well.
Yeah, they seem to be here. Exclamation Dave on the Twitch chat. Show your appreciation. Cheney says, for some reason I decided to go on Twitch. Don't know why. It's because you always used to watch me on Twitch. So there you go. Dave. Salute. How you doing? Good to see you. Join us. We have cookies and an A+ in taking the piss. That's also true. That's also true. Emily says hello. So there you go. What you been up to, Dave? What you been playing?
Oh, I've been playing a fair bit of Crimson Desert over the weekend, but we'll talk about that more later on. I played a little bit more of Baldur's Gate 3. We didn't get that much further. Just ended up in a fight where there seems to be lots of enemies that just keep reappearing out of portals. So I'm not quite sure how that fight's going to go. So I do need to get back into it and try not to die. So that might be something for the weekend. But otherwise, I played a decent chunk of Battlefield 6 as well. Still playing that. I was trying out the new map that came out. Was it last week or the week before? I've lost track now. But it was the new Hagenthal base where it's just infantry only. It's the one that's a bit of a meat grinder, but I'm starting to learn the layout a little bit more, so I get a few more kills in it. So it's good. I'm enjoying it. It's quite nice sometimes having an infantry only map, but hopefully in season 3 they'll give us more of the bigger maps that the community wants. Just bringing all the vehicles and everything. Yeah. So that's what people have been asking for. That's what we're patiently waiting for. So I think EA and DICE do need to get those maps out to keep people engaged in the game. Otherwise, people will just move on. Because there's so much choice in multiplayer games, so they need to bring out some good stuff to keep us invested.
I haven't played much because I've been so busy with here, there, and everywhere again. But I have played more Planet Alana.
No. I need to get back into that.
I think I'm not going to get a chance. I've just thought this where I am this weekend. I've got no chance. But at some point I might get around to playing it and completing it, and then that's another one off the checklist. So we're gonna try some of that. And then ironically, the new season of Fortnite landed on Thursday. And I didn't get round to trying any of it until the Sunday, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it because it forces me into a lot of fights, and it's quite good. So I enjoy playing some of that. I kind of dip in and dip out, and it's kind of good timing because plug. If you want to tune on Thursday night, I'm officially sponsored by Fortnite because of the new season. So if you want to come and play some games with us, feel free. There you go. I only found that out over the weekend when I started playing it. So there you go. So that was just good timing.
A nice surprise.
Anyone who was hoping for the Screamer stream, it's been pushed back till next Wednesday. So apologies, but sponsors come knocking. Don't say no to them most of the time. So there we go. So we'll be doing that. Minecraft got an update today as well. I haven't played Minecraft in donkey's years. Fortnite, maybe not for 1,000 staff members. No, probably not. No, not so much. I do want to finish Planet of Lana, but it gave me huge melancholy. It's one of those games that hits you in the feels. With what's happening with Epic, that's impressive. Yeah, Epic. We'll talk about that in a moment. Still playing Expedition 33, says Kizra. Great game. We talked about that. We were talking about that last week, weren't we? Again, because last week's guest was Dan from Kepler Interactive, and obviously Kepler published Expedition 33. They've had some really good hits on their hands, so they were very proud that Sam Full had won all those awards and will hopefully win more awards. So there you go. Osiris, hello. How you doing, buddy? Great to see you. Phantom says, me and Lulu were on it earlier and we both got kicked because of the updates, but got the baby animals now. Oh yeah, it's crazy. You've got all the pets and stuff now. It's kind of its own thing, but I enjoy it for what it is. It's that sort of thing you can dip in and out and not have to think or use your brain, which is good for me because my brain gets used too much. So shall we bring in our guest? John, our guest, has not been on for a couple of years, and that's because the event that he's running has had a couple of years hiatus, but it is back with a bang. I first visited OLL back in 2022 when John very kindly invited me to come and check it out, and I felt quite bad because a certain someone who's down here, because I've got the dogs with me, got ill, and I had to duck out of the event halfway through. But he very kindly invited me back in 2023, and it was the first time that I got to meet some wonderful people like Slopes and Ashens, and I even ended up on stage for my sins. And it's probably the event that actually steamrolled everything for me, being at a lot of gaming events. And now, as I say, it's back, and even better than ever, taking place on in April. So please give it up for the guy that's putting this all together. Give it up for John from OLL. Good evening.
Hey.
Good evening.
Hello, how you doing? You all right? That's a hell of an introduction as well.
Thank you.
such pressure now to perform after that.
Sorry.
It's awesome to see it, and it's very good to be back. And I can see that I can't seem to escape my regulars from my channel who have all jumped in. So hello, everybody. Nice to see you all, and it's lovely to be here. Yes, it's been a little while. But it's been a little while,
but so great to have you here, John.
Cheers, man.
And OLL is back. We have, thank you to iQuell. If you're in the Twitch chat, we have pinned all the links. So we haven't even started talking about OLL26. But if you want to go check out the site and get your tickets now, do it while we're talking about it. Because, yes, OLL is back. And even better than ever. And you've got a lot going on, haven't you, John?
We have. I mean, do you want me to tell you about it now, or do you want to do it in a bit? What do you want to know, really?
Some of it, and then I'll bring up the website in a minute, and then we can talk about some more of it.
Yeah, later. Sure. So obviously, yes, we've had a bit of a hiatus, but we are now back for April the 11th. Epic Studios in our hometown of Norwich. It's probably the most packed event that I think we've ever done. We've got all of the usual gaming communities of Norwich and the surrounding area coming together to put on a huge exhibition of hundreds of games. If you've been to an OLL event before, you'll know exactly what to expect. Hundreds of games, stuff to play throughout the day. It's all free with your entry ticket. But then we've got stage shows alongside that all throughout the day. We've got Level Up Leroy. He's our main compere and host for the day. You'll find him at all the big Comic Cons, but he's local to us and he's a good pal. So we've got him on board as well. And I'm sure most people who are aware of the event are probably aware by now. if you are a fan of a certain 90s television game show by the name of Games Master, you'll certainly know this one. We have got Dominic Diamond himself appearing live and in person at our event, hosting a very special game challenge show. There we go. You can tell that I've rehearsed that. I've said that quite a few times now because I've typed it out so many times.
That was beautiful, John. That was absolutely beautiful. Let me bring up the ticket site for it so we can see some of the other things. I'll pick a few things out.
Yeah, sure.
Mentioned there. Here we go. So obviously, as you mentioned, tons of games to play.
Yes.
And you've got your stage shows. Dominic Diamond, who's going to be there, doing a very special sort of Games Master-esque challenge style show.
Obviously, we can't call it Games Master for legal reasons, of course.
Yes.
But if you've seen Games Master, you'll know exactly what to expect.
Yes.
And just to make it just to give a little bit of detail about it, this isn't something where we've just paid Dominic to come and read a bunch of cue cards and just read something out on a script. This is very much in conjunction. This is a show that we've put together ourselves between myself and mainly him, to be fair, coming up with the premise of the show, the games that are going to be used, the format of it. It is very much an actual proper Dominic Diamond show, in as much as it is of just the fact that we've got Dominic Diamond turning up to, come and say hello to people and do a Q&A as well. It's very much his show as much as it is ours. So we're really looking forward to what he's going to have in store for us. I don't know how much I can tell you about it. In fact, no, I can tell you a few bits about it in a little while.
We'll do that. We'll come back to that then a little bit later. All right. But we'll have a look at also, obviously, all the details are here on the link. Dominic, and he's been, as people have mentioned, he's done some very good trailers and videos for it. I've very much enjoyed watching them. The technical term for the show is, because we're not allowed to use Games Master, Dominic Diamond's Retro Rumble.
That's the one.
That's the one. So there you go. Also, Leroy, I have witnessed at many at EGX and MCM Comic Con, as well as OLL23. Excellent DJ, great compare. Just can't wait for that. And there is a ton of other stuff: speedrun showcases, cosplays, tournaments, console wars, Q&A panels. And then this is something I wanted to bring up: the Everybody Plays prize draw. This is something that's quite unique, isn't it?
It's quite simple. Hang on a minute. I've got a prop. Hold on.
Okay.
He says it's not much, to be fair. But basically, when you go to these events, a lot of gaming events will do things like tournaments and time trials and esports and that kind of stuff, and that's brilliant. But there's not really much reward for people who just want to go and enjoy the day and just play video games, And as much as we are about all of the different eras of games, and obviously, we do all the tournaments. We're doing Tekken and Smash and Street Fighter and Mario Kart tournaments throughout the day. But for example, for families, for parents with smaller kids, and the kids might not want to do the competitive side of things, we're making it so that you can still get some rewards for simply just enjoying the day.
Yeah.
And so we've got this thing that we've called Everybody Plays. And it's really simple. Basically, you've got a little bingo card like this.
Nice.
Everybody gets a bingo card. Every time you play a game, you'll get a little stamp on your card. And if you fill your card in, you hand it in, we'll put you in a prize draw and you might win some prizes. For example, consoles, games, vouchers. We've got sponsors, Insert Coin clothing. There'll be a few clothing items and that kind of stuff.
Give them a shout out for that.
There you go.
I'm wearing some of this stuff right now.
Brilliant. And then I imagine we'll probably have a few things provided by some of our traders and artists that we have present on the day as well. So it's just something that allows everybody to get involved with the celebration of the day, rather than it being just limited to just the esports guys, So it's something for everyone. That's kind of the thinking behind it.
That's really cool. iQuail has just said, very much looking forward to this. Norwich is the wrong side of the country for me, but Dominic Diamond live convinced me to take the plunge. I'm even willing to spend a 7 hours round trip in the car with not David on screen, but Dave Johnson, Ashen's community manager and my manager. With David, so no pressure, but it better be good. I know.
No pressure, but it better be good. Oh, crikey. Well, iQuail, I obviously don't actually know who you are, iQuail, but when you get there, when you are at the event, come and find me I will be the one with the blue T-shirt on and looking slightly frazzled on the day. Come and say hello to me, and I will make sure that I will make sure that you get a bit of time with Dominic, because Dominic, we had a good chat with him in terms of like what he wanted to do on the day. And quite often when you have guests come to events, you give them a table and they do photographs and they do signatures and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And we decided we don't want to do that. We don't want to keep Dominic, cooped up behind a table all day, answering questions about Mario 64 and Dave Perry every 30 seconds. So he's effectively just going to be mingling, aside from when he's doing the stage stuff and when he's doing Q&As and stuff like that. So he'll be there for people to simply just approach and go and have a chat to. He's going to be there to enjoy the event and enjoy the games just as much as anyone else.
Nice.
So you'll absolutely get a chance to meet him, I'm sure.
That's awesome. We've got a very special announcement to do with me being at OLL, which I've managed to keep secret from. Anyone knows me keeping secrets is an awful thing. It never happens, but I've managed to keep it pretty much secret. So we're going to announce something a little bit later on for the people that have already bought tickets from my community that are coming to the show. But we'll announce something a little bit later on. But we will talk about some more stuff. We'll talk about, obviously, you mentioned some of the tournaments. We'll talk about the games market. We'll talk about some of the other things that you've got on during the show a little bit later on.
Sure.
So if you are not already got your tickets, actually, let me bring this back on because I will show. Let's show the tickets because the VIP tickets have now sold out, folks. The event runs from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. But you can have a choice because you can get a daytime ticket, which is 10 a.m. till 5:30. Then there is an evening ticket, which is 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. Or you can buy a ticket which basically covers the whole session. All session tickets are like £27.50. Daytime tickets are £16.50. And the evening only are £13.20. There's also child tickets as well for under 13s. It's absolute bargain, folks. So click the links. I know that the mods will drop the links again in the chats, various chats of the platforms. So if you haven't got your tickets, please do get them because you've literally only got a couple of weeks. But if you wanted a VIP ticket, tough because they've all sold out. So they're all gone, which is a good start.
It's all right. We'll have merch and stuff. I've just had the merch delivered this week as well.
Oh, so sweet. Okay.
There'll be plenty of things for you to give me your money somehow. I'll get your money out here somehow. But thank you very much for that, man. Cheers.
Yeah, no worries. Kisra said, I remember this very fondly because I took part in this. Last time Dominic was involved with OLL, he was in a video on the big screen making dick jokes over my footage of Tricky Towers. I suffered, and Cheney will back me up on this, I suffered greatly with one of the Did You Know Gaming lads as we tried to play Sonic very badly against Glopes and failed miserably as I basically cried on stage at how bad that one of the Did You Know Gaming lads was playing Sonic. So, yeah, but I still have fond memories of that day. So, folks, get your tickets now for the event, and we'll talk a little bit more about OLL a bit later on in the show. Shall we crack on with the show, gentlemen?
Let's get to it, mate.
Yes.
Okay, so, ladies and gents, this is our 258th show, dare I say it. We're going to be talking about Slay The Spire 2, which is in early access, MLB The Show 26, knocking it out of the park, and a game that Dave has been trying out this week, Crimson Desert. Also, I thought I'd do something a bit different because we always look at different gaming charts every week. And this is one we've never done before. We're going to be looking at the biggest selling games of 2026 so far, now that we're near at the end of March. So I thought we'll do that and maybe look at that every quarter. So we've got all that and more coming up in the show. But we're going to kick off with a game that we didn't manage to talk about a couple of weeks ago. But the reviews actually only just dropped in the last week. So Slay The Spire 2 is out on early access as of the 5th of March. And it's out on PC. Wanted to have a bit of a discussion about this because the first one was very much beloved. Let's have a look at the trailer and we'll have a discussion about this. There you go, folks. That is Slay The Spire 2, which is out now on early access on PC. For anyone who doesn't know about the game, Dave, tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, this is the follow-up to the original game, which was a very, very popular roguelike deck builder. I think it's been selling well for years. So as a decent amount of players still playing it, and now got the sequel out. The devs, they're not messing with the formula too much. No point breaking what worked so well originally. So whilst it's only the same type of game, you're going to be building up your decks, trying to ascend up the spire to ultimately get to the top and win the game. They're kind of just like adding in a few new things, like some new characters, new events, new relics, new items and stuff like that, just so it mixes things up a little bit, but doesn't mess with the core formula. So you're still going to have to learn what some of the new stuff is going to do, how to use it in like your sort of builds you're going through. But I think in this one as well, I can't remember if the previous game had co-op, but this new one supports up to 4-player co-op. So you can get your friends involved as well, see if they can help you on your run. So I think it's looking quite good. I never played the original, but I heard nothing but good things about it, and so far hearing good things about this as well. And whilst it's in early access, it probably won't change too much. By the time they get to 1.0, I think this is just a case of them, doing like getting a lot of feedback in, so I can just refine what's there. Not like say like you get stuff like Baldur's Gate where you just get the first act and then the rest comes later on. I think most of the game is already there in early access. It'll just get refined over the next year or so, or however long it stays in there.
Yeah. So Emily's just asked, is right in thinking the Slay The Spire is frequently in sales? Yes, you can get it very, very cheap, and it's definitely worth. I'm not into my card battlers, but this game grabbed me massively, and I loved it. So I want to get hold of this as well. It's $19.99 at the moment. It was on Game Pass. Again, like you kids, I've got a funny feeling it came off Game Pass. But you can buy both for £22.48.
I was going to say, because talking about sales for the first one, it is $4.99 on the Steam sale at the moment.
There you go, Emily. $4.99 bargain. Rockmuse had a question for you, Dave, which was, do you have a nice deck, Dave?
I do indeed.
There you go. Just thought we'd get that out there. Yeah, my mates are playing it off stream and on. Yeah, lots of people playing this. John, did you get to play the first one? And do you like card battlers?
I didn't. They're not the genre that I tend to go through. But I've seen plenty of them. And while this one I'm not too familiar with the series, you can tell just by the presentation alone just how big of a deal it is. Because what that looks like, that didn't look like some tiny, small indie studio kind of one-person thing, did it? They've got a budget for this one, and that really shows. So I wish that I had more that I could contribute in terms of saying, I like this and I like that about it. All I can simply say is I saw it and that actually looks really interesting.
Nice.
But presentation-wise, man, that looks brilliant. That looks really good.
Yeah. I would play this with a heartbeat. I'm not going to lie, because I like the first one so much. And apparently it is still on Game Pass, so you can still get the first one on Game Pass. So if you want to try it out, please do.
Actually, just a question. Is the reason that it's early access because it's still in development, or is that something that they do where they design in terms of like the stats and everything of the cards and the characters and how the game operates? Is that why they do early access?
It's a bit of both with some games. Some games they're still building it, making it. Some games they do it purely to get all the feedback on what works, what doesn't, and then fine tune it and change it. It can be multiple things. I don't know if Dave's got any other reasons why they.
Yeah, I just wonder.
I think it's the latter. What you said there. It's more about refinement. Yeah, they've got a good base there, but what it's like. You can play these things in isolation with a few testers and think it's good. You throw it out to the real world, and they'll pick it apart and give you loads more feedback, and that'll just help you. Add improvements to it. So I think that's what they're doing. I think that's what worked for the first game. So sounds like they're just doing that again.
Yeah, it's also as Rock Muse said there. Sometimes if they are self-funded, they will do it to get more money in.
Yeah,
to get it, which is fine. But the bonus of it is that once you've paid the full price at $19.99, when the game comes out, whether it's in 6 months, a year, 2 years, you get everything. Anything else that hasn't been unlocked all gets unlocked, and you get it. So that's really good. Jenny, hello, good evening. How are you? Good to see you. It's usually, there you go, Kizra said, as usual, for taking feedback and refining, but some games aren't complete. Exactly. Hello. So for those who have not seen the show in a long time, we don't review the games, but I scour the internet, take all the reviews, bundle them up, and turn it into an average score. You may agree with it, you may not, but we're going to play a little game with it for a bit of fun. So everyone on YouTube and Twitch chat can guess. So if you've seen scores appearing, wondering what that's about, you can have anything from 0 to 10, and you can have 0.5s like 5.5, 8.5, whatever. But also Dave and John are going to play along as well. So, and if you get it right and you guess the score, we give you shout outs. Okay. And considering Mojo and Pixie are here, Dave's shout outs are going to be quite interesting tonight. So let's see what people are saying in chat. I've got to scroll all the way back up. Danka said, I'm going in high straight away with this one. 9. Chloe, 8.5. Rockwood, 8.5. Gozzo, 9. Hannah, good evening. I don't think I said hello to Hannah. 8.5. Let's scroll down because there's a lot more scores here. Jenny says, I think it's going to be an 8. Retro Shazar, 8. Iquail, 8. Phantom, 9. Flame, 8. Kisra, 9. Kindred, 9. 7.5, cautiously, says Emily. 8 from Polycomical. 8 from RL Jack. Hello to RL Jack as well. 8 from WV Prods UK. I'm just going to call you WV because it's easier. 9 for Vagarus. So, Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this has got?
I'll try an 8.5.
8.5. Okay. John, what do you reckon?
I was going to go with an 8. I don't think you'd get a 9 for something that's still in early access, something that's literally only been going for a couple of weeks. I think that's too early for someone to give it like anything higher than that. So I'm saying a flat 8.
Flat 8. Okay. All right, folks, this is your last chance. This is Slay the Spire 2 in early access, which came out on Thursday, the 5th of this month on PC. And if there are no more scores appearing in chat, I can tell you this did get a 9.
Oh, wow.
What?
On average.
So good start.
Wow.
Now, do you know what's funny is we don't cover a lot of early access games, but we do cover a few. And we had this discussion a couple of weeks ago that you tend to find that you get a score and it's a sort of a middling score, like a 6 or a 7, and it'll either go up or down from there. This has now set the bar really high. So if it's this good in early access, let's hope they can keep it up for the full game. So yeah, 9 out of 10. So a lot of people did get that right. So normally it's so high. I know. Holy shit. Final Fantasy 7 got a 9. I know. So there you go. Let's have a look. We've got to give shout outs to over on YouTube, Vagarus and Kisra. We've got Kindred over on Twitch, got it right. Phantom got it right. And scrolling back up because there were so many gaps. Gozzo and Danka. I think that's everyone. The mods will get shout outs to you. So if you're on Twitch, we'll shout out your channel. If you're on YouTube, we'll give you a shout out or ping you for 30 seconds as we can, best as can. So just bear with us as we do this because we've got lots of people in both chats, which is always good. But we'll move swiftly on to our second game. This came out Monday last week. And again, didn't get a chance to speak about this. This is also just on PC. And it's really funny that this is based on a film that did come out many years ago. And over the last 3 years, we've had like a flurry of these games. We've had first-person shooters, tactical-based shooters, and now we get another first-person one. This is Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War. Can you believe it? And not only that, it is endorsed by Mr. Johnny Rico himself. Here's the trailer.
You're dead, Bob! Come and get it! Buy and play now to secure your children's future.
Would you like to know more?
So this is out on PC mainly, but it is on some other platforms as well. It's £21 on PC, £20 on PlayStation, £21 on Xbox, and ironically, Switch is most expensive at £22.49. Thank you, Kindred. But I've actually seen Casper Van Dien on Twitch playing this because he has a Twitch channel. Some people might not know that, but he plays all the different Starship Trooper games, and he's been playing this most recently. So the fact that he's endorsing it as well, I think is quite cool. So Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one, please.
Yes, this is starred as what we sort of call a boomer shooter these days. So it's going for like sort of older style graphical look for it. But this is kind of like pitched as like an in-universe sort of recruitment game that's used, to recruit people to the mobile infantry to then go off and fight the bugs. So it's meant to be like a training simulator that the troops would play before going off to war. From what I could see of it, it looks all right. Looks like a perfectly competent sort of boomer shoot. I think it's meant to sort of reasonably sort of open levels, so you can get a bit of action in there where you're trying to defeat the bugs, and looks quite cool the way they give you the option to players from the different bugs as well. Give you like another view of the war. Play as the enemy, so you can learn how the enemy thinks, how to defeat them. And you can see they've dragged Casper Van Dien back out to put him in there, which again fits in like universe wise. I think he's meant to be General Johnny Rico in this. He's there to get new people into the war. I think it looks all right. It's probably the sort of game that's not going to be anything that spectacular. So hopefully it keeps all the sort of satire of the film there. Although stuff like Helldivers 2 has done a really good job of like continuing that war satire. So hopefully this can compete with that, because that did such a good job of doing what Starship Troopers did back in '97 when the movie was out. But I think this could be fun just for a bit of a afternoon blasting through some bugs. Yeah, could be good fun.
Yeah, I think I'm agree with you. This is not something that's high on my. I immediately want to go and get it. But if I stumbled upon this or get a copy of this, I would have a lot of fun playing this. John, your thoughts on this?
Well, I love Starship Troopers. Nice. The original film, of course. The second one, somewhat different.
Yeah, and the third and fourth.
And everything. There was only one film, wasn't there? Sorry, yeah. The game itself, I'm sure the game is probably quite repetitive. The mechanics are probably a little bit janky, but they've got the vibe exactly right by the look of it. They've captured that Starship Troopers ethos, I think, and have done that really well. Yeah. The only problem that I do have watching this is, the graphics aren't amazing. They're not AAA graphics. And I don't think it's intentional that they look as ropey as they do. I think that's more just, this is a limited budget because all the money's gone on the license. But I think they've used it well. My concern here is that there is another game that is true to my heart that not that many people know about, but it's not particularly rare. And I always think of this other game whenever I see bug-style alien shooters, and that's the Earth Defense Force series.
Oh yeah, of course.
And I don't know if anybody else remembers this. This is going to be going niche of the niche here, but Earth Defense Force 2017. It was an Xbox 360 launch title in Japan. It used like 2D sprites for your power-ups, but the gameplay was proper like 3D. Yeah. You could literally destroy entire cities and it was basically Starship Troopers, but it wasn't called Starship Troopers. Yeah. And again, that's a really janky, ropey game, but it's incredible. It's an absolute 10 out of 10 if you get a chance to ever pick it up. And it's like bargain basement, like a couple of £1 price if you ever see it anywhere. But I always compare these modern style games like this to Earth Defense Force. And at the moment, I would say I probably prefer EDF over this new Starship Troopers game. But they've certainly got the vibe right, for sure.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see what people are saying. Folks, get your scores in chat. See what the reviewers said about this. Let's see what we got. Going to scroll up to the top. Again, iQuell, thank you for doing all the shout-outs, man. Greatly appreciate it. Let's see. Kisra, 7.5. WV, 7.5. Emily, 7. Chloe, 7.5. Hannah, 8. Danka, 7.5. Rock Muse, 6. Polycomical, 7.5. Gozzo, 7.5. Jack, 7. Scrolling down. Retro Shazar, 7.5. Iqua said, I missed the trailer. So 7 in it. 7.5. Jenny, 7. Flame, 7. Folks, this is your last chance. Get it in for Starship Troopers Ultimate Bug War, which came out last Monday on PC, Switch 2, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. Cheney saying an 8. Phantom saying 7. Bagger saying 6 because I heard it had some issues. John, I'll start with you. What do you reckon this got?
I think that the score will have been inflated because it will be purchased by fans of the franchise, and that will inflate the score rather than what it should really deserve critically. So for me, I'm saying it's a 6.
Okay, 6. Dave, what say you?
I'm going to try a safe 7 for this one.
Safe 7. All right, folks. Let's see what the critics thought. I can tell you that this got, on average, slightly higher, but certainly safe, 7.5 out of 10. So there you go. Kindred, I know you got it right. Well done, Retro Shazar. Well done. Gozzo and Danka, all on Twitch, got that right. Let's see. Over on YouTube's. I've got to scroll back up for all the things. Polycomical, well done. You got it right as well. WV got it right as well. And Kizra. I think that's everyone. If I missed anyone, please do tell me, because it's bloody difficult trying to look at 2 chats at the same time and make sure we got that. But there you go. The first time I got it right. Chloe got it right as well. Sorry, Chloe, I missed you off. You go, that many chats. There you go. Congratulations. While those shout outs are being done, let's talk about some gaming news. Now, funny enough, last week we talk about the composer who worked on Starfield, who basically stated, no, you just didn't get it at the time it came out. And, you know, Todd knows what he's doing at Bethesda. Just give it time. And we were kind of like, is this a well-placed thing to basically say there's going to be a big announcement? And funnily enough, there was a big announcement last week because Starfield has got its PlayStation date of release on April the 7th. But it is also the same day that there is a big update because Starfield version 2.0 will be launched, which will have new bounties, new vehicles, new companions, quality of life updates, and they are bringing a second DLC called Terrain Armada. That is coming out as well. Now, if you've got the standard version of the game, you're going to have to pay round about £10 or just under £10 for that DLC. If you've got the premium version of that game, you will get that free as well. But what is also interesting is they're dropping the price of the PC and the Xbox version on the day of the release that the PS5 version comes out. So if you haven't had a chance to get it, you can actually get it cheaper, especially if you haven't got Game Pass, because it is on Game Pass. So, big question here. They said they were going to give more content, and we did say Bethesda are quite good at taking games. I normally have games that go well from launch, but sometimes they do have games that don't go well. You know, Fallout 76, looking at you. But then eventually, over the years, turn it into something really good. Question is, and I got to give this to Dave and John, do we think version 2.0 will be the start of getting people properly interested in Starfield? Because it wasn't that well received when it came launched. Everyone was kind of like, it's all right.
Yeah, it was another one of those games where the hype level just went really, really high, and of course it couldn't live up to it. And I think a lot of people just ended up falling off of it. It just wasn't as good as the previous games that they'd done.
Yeah,
you know, it had too many things that just weren't that interesting. You know, stuff in the main quest just ended up being quite dull. Whenever you went to get the new powers for your character, it was the same boring fly through well, I don't know what it was, fly through this thing every single time. Yeah, as the music plays, and that was just terrible. Sure, you would have thought they could have thought something better, but I think they just spent far too much time trying to make 1,000 explorable planets. They just didn't polish up the bits that they really should have polished. So I think it's probably going to get some people coming back to it. I think the 3 lanes update is adding some improvements to it. When you're now in like a star system, you can fly between planets now, which you couldn't do before.
Yeah,
The loading screen. But now lets you fly there. You can get it from your seat, walk around your starship, and do other stuff while you're flying from planet to planet, which sounds quite cool that they've added that in. There's other quality of life things as well. They're trying to improve stuff when you go through like to the end game section. So they are improving some things, but the main thing I thought was just problematic was that the exploration was just dull. Not anywhere near as good as like the older Elder Scrolls games. They are like brilliant maps to just walk around and find stuff, but landing on these like pretty much 1,000 barren planets with the same points of interest. And yes, they've added more points of interest in this new update that's coming out, but will you eventually start seeing them repeat on the planets?
Yeah.
I still think the planets are boring. They probably should have cut out 99% of the planets and just done what Mass Effect did years ago. Just have you landing on specific points and that is it. And then you handcraft what's there. Forget procedural generation because it didn't work for this game. So I don't think it's really going to turn it into an amazing game. It might maybe boost its score up slightly, but it's not going to make me go back to it.
Okay. No, I've got no interest in going back to it. John, did you ever play it, or would this change your mind?
Yeah, I did. And I'm upset that I've now got to think about this game again, to be honest, because I was so massively hyped for it. I'm a big Bethesda fan. Yeah. And I will quite often defend Bethesda more than perhaps the average person should. But I've been playing the Elder Scrolls series from the start, more or less. Actually, no, that's a lie. Morrowind was my first one, original Xbox. But who remembers Arena anyway? I was coming into it just like everybody else. I was wanting Elder Scrolls in space.
Yeah.
Or Fallout in space. And the problem is that is kind of what we got. But the problem is the last Elder Scrolls game came out in 2011. And obviously this game came out in whatever it was, 24, 25. It's 15 years later, but the mechanics and the controls and just how tight the game feels and its structure, it's literally plucked from 2011. And I was expecting to see this is going to be Elder Scrolls 6 in space, not Elder Scrolls 5 in space with lots of repetitive things and everything looks grey and orange. So I was disappointed, but mechanically, it's not bad mechanically. And the story was okay. But the thing is, if you're going to do a good space story, your competition, if you want to do a space sci-fi story, your competition is Mass Effect, Star Trek, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, hundreds of other sci-fi shows. Your story has to be ridiculously good to actually survive, I think, in a video game environment that takes place in far future space stuff. And it just wasn't quite enough. And I was left very disappointed. In terms of whether new DLC can give it a new lease of life, it certainly will. It won't bring any new players in. It will bring a few lapsed players back. But the damage was already done on day one. People don't go back to games, a year and a half after a game's come out. It just doesn't happen. It would take something really special, I think, for them to fix that. Anyway, sorry, that turned into a bit of a rant. Sorry.
No, that's fine. That's absolutely. That's what this show's for. You should see me everybody.
I'm glad I've finally been able to get that off my chest, actually.
So I was going to say a couple of people have been. I think this is the funny thing because the last DLC they brought out didn't actually do much and actually got quite negative reviews. So I don't know whether this will improve it or not. Everyone said it didn't really do much. So it's going to win people over. And it'll be interesting to see how the PlayStation market takes to it. I'm not that fussed about it. I can just pass on this one. I'm not going to lie. I think there's some games that you would go back to if they've done a lot on it and you kind of go, do you know what? That is worth a shot. But I mean, I got burnt by Starfield and I was like, So I probably wouldn't go back to it.
It needs more. It needs like a No Man's Sky where it's a complete reboot. That's what it needs.
That is a great example of a game that came out and wasn't that great, and then they've just continuously hammered away at it and are still to this day giving updates. And if they did that, great. But I just can't see Bethesda doing that. I think they'll get this DLC out, and I reckon there's all this thing. Oh, it's the 2.0. I don't think there'll be anything else after this. I'll be honest. I think that's it. Probably
maybe some like little paid things. I think you've got the mod support. Yeah. Some paid mod support for it, but no. I mean, ultimately, we want them to move on to Elder Scrolls 6 and, for fuck's sake, get that out a bit sooner rather than later.
Yeah,
we're getting impatient. It's been, 8 years since the title reveal?
Yeah. Well, it wasn't anything at all, was it? It was awful.
No,
they shouldn't have mentioned it. But honestly, they come on. It's literally been 15 years. That needs to be out the door by now. What have they been playing at?
There you go. We've just been raided. Tiresome TV, thank you so much for the raid over on Twitch. Also want to say thank you to Chloe for the Prime sub. Greatly appreciated. I saw the shout outs go out. John, good evening. Bonjour. How are you, sir? Tiresome, good day. Oh, good day. That's 2 good days. Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in. This is I am Mag. This is Dave. This is our guest this week, John from OLL. And we are talking about all the latest game news and reviews from the last 7 days. Simmons says, Mag smells. Thanks, Simmons. Cheers, mate. Appreciate that. Is that because Dave's not here? That's why you're saying it. Evening, lovely people. DJ Brock, how you doing? Welcome on in. If anyone, there's some info about me and blah, blah, blah appearing in the Twitch chat. If you need me to do the special shout out, Iquel, let me know and I'll sort that out. Otherwise, we'll move on to our next game. And, you know, we say about this every week. There always seems to be a sports game that comes out every year and gets churned out. Now, last week, we talked about the new wrestling game, which actually got better reviews than the last couple. And we have had some of the sports games do better because I've actually listened to customer feedback. And we've had some not as good. Where will this sit? This came out last Tuesday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch, and this is MLB The Show 2026. Let's see how this pans out.
Swing and Judge going back on it. Makes the grab at the wall.
MLB The Show 26 has more roads to greatness than ever before. Dive into the most immersive Road to the Show experience yet with expanded amateur years, 19 colleges, and the chance to leave your legacy at Cooperstown.
Mr. Judge, we're ready for you on set.
Yeah, be right there after this game.
More control, deeper on-field stories, and action that feels more real than ever. Be the captain of your team and play as your Diamond Dynasty squad in the World Baseball Classic. All the international squads, all the passion, all in Diamond Dynasty. With so many ways to play, you might have to steal time from somewhere else.
Great work, Aaron. He's a little stiff today, no?
Make your mark in MLB The Show 26.
Great. Let's try it with a baseball. Okay, let's take 5.
PlayStation. There you go. I'm gonna say this. Every year we talk about MLB The Show, and most of their trailers are shit. I actually thought that was all right. 1, because I actually put some gameplay footage in it, and 2, fairly comical at the end. You know, at least they were trying to make an effort with it. Normally, then you just get these players that you've never heard of, especially in the UK market, playing the game, but you never see the game. So, okay, props to them for doing this. Kindred says that this is 60 quid on PlayStation, Xbox, and 50 quid on the Switch. So there you go. Switch actually being cheaper for a change. Looks fantastic if you are a baseball fan. Xbox keeps recommending these games to me, and I could not be less interested. So there you go. Dave, tell us more about this. Is this going to be a massive step up from 2025, or is it going to be a massive disappointment?
I think, like all the early updates for any of these sports titles, it's just incremental. You know, you could argue that it could just be bloody DLC, because I suppose all anyone really wants the roster updates, you know, to keep up with what's happening with the actual teams in the real world. But otherwise, it's just it's minor stuff. You know, they're always going to do improvements to the graphics, like the animation, stuff like that, to make it look and feel a bit more realistic. But I think otherwise with this, it is quite sort of marginal what they've added to it. I believe they've added like additional stuff to like the franchise mode and the road to the show, where they add some of the like the college years in the college stadiums in there. And I think they've done some improvements to the trading, where you're trading players. But that was kind of all I could really sort of pick up that was really different between this one and the last one. So, I mean, if you've already got the 25 version, and you're not that bothered about the roster update, you could probably just stick with that. Save yourself 60 quid. Yeah, but if you're the sort of person who absolutely loves baseball, you want to get the latest ones, have all the latest stuff in it, then get it. It's probably the only baseball game on the market anyway, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah,
probably the only one that's going to have all the real life players and stuff in there. But otherwise, it's just another dull sports yearly update. And I will say this multiple times as well in the next few months as all the other ones roll out from EA and 2K.
Because we'll get to September and we'll start into EA season where EA just churn out all their stuff. I agree with you. I think this is the thing, because 2020 this used to be a PlayStation exclusive, and then it made its way onto Xbox, and everyone said, "Oh, this is getting really good," and then it made its way onto Switch, and everyone's saying this is really good, and then it's kind of had a couple of years where it's done all right. But I think Dave has got a good point in that if you bought this last year and you're not that fussed about it, probably not get it this year. But if you haven't got it for a couple of years, it might be worth getting. But it's difficult to tell because I don't give a shit about baseball.
I mean, either.
Your thoughts?
If you like baseball, I'm sure it's brilliant. But this is the thing with all sports games, isn't it? They're all generally very well made. They are very feature rich. They're very detailed. They simulate their sport really, really well. And to the best of my knowledge, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but MLB is the premier simulation title for the sport of baseball, isn't it? So it's the best example. So it will be just like FIFA. It will be just like any other sports title. If you follow that sport, that is the game that you will buy. And you will buy it every year. And the publisher and developers, they know that. The thing is, this is something that I found out back in my retail days. These annual sports games, their actual development time, you think you've got like a year between each time these games come out. You have to factor in DLC and wrapping up and staff holidays after the game comes out. Say your game is released in March.
Yeah.
They're finishing off all their promotional period and all that kind of stuff. That takes them up until about sort of April, May, sort of end of June. Staff will take some holidays, takes you up to July. Then you've got to think you've then got about 7 months left before your next game has to come out the door. And you've got to have 3 months of marketing within that as well. So your actual development time, where they literally sit down at their computers and make new content for the next year's sports game, they have about 8 weeks. They have about 2 months, and they just cram it in. And then they just do roster updates like last minute in like the last month. So I'm not surprised that these games don't change every year. It's just the nature of them. But if you are a fan of the sport, you will always want to have it all up to date. And I'm exactly the same with the Formula One games. The F1 games, they still use the same game engine that they came out with in 2010, and they're still using that same game engine from 2 generations of console ago. So I think if you like baseball, I'm sure you'll love the game. It's not my kind of thing, sorry.
No, that's fine. I don't think any of us on this screen are interested in this, so there you go. Yeah, there you go.
I think I've done quite well to fill that amount of time talking about a baseball game.
I know, you have. Yeah, that deserves a round of applause. Good, sir. There you go. Let's see what the critics thought, though. And let's see. Folks who've just joined us on the raid, if you don't know what we do, we don't technically review the games, but we scour the internet, get all the scores from all the different places, whether it be IGN, GameSpot, Eurogamer, Metacritic, GamerRanks, etc., and turn it into an average score. If you guess it correctly, you'll get a shout out for your channel. Let me go scrolling up because there's a lot of scores to get. So, hopefully, Danka saying a 7, Gozzo saying a 7, Hannah saying a 7.5, Chloe saying a 6.5, Rockmew saying an 8. Oh, people's scores are very varied on this one. So this is going to be an interesting one. Kindred saying a 7. Polycomical saying a 7. Kizra saying 8, but only because I feel like it's good if you enjoy baseball. 7 from WV. 6 from Emily. DJ says, I reckon it's a 7.5. Flame says a 6. Jenny a 7.5. Jack saying a 5. Retro Shazar saying a 7. Get your scores in chat, folks. This is MLB The Show 26, which came out last Tuesday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and Switch. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon?
I'll try 7.5.
7.5. Vagara says 8 because of journalists. We've said that many a time. John, what do you reckon?
I'm going to take a punt and I'm going to say a 9 because the only people that would review it are going to be people who have bought it. Therefore, they're going to be baseball fans and they're going to love it no matter what. So I'm going to say a 9. But
I like your
I might be wrong.
Okay, right. Yeah, those shills probably paid off by Alan Yankee and Bertha Metz. You never know. Let's see. Has it been match rigged? Iquel says, what was the game? It was MLB The Show 2026. So I'll let you put in a score very quickly. John engaging big brain strats. Yes. Let's see if it's paid off. Because I can tell you that the big question was, is this better than 2025 version? And the answer is no. This is one of the lowest rating MLB shows of yeah. It did not well. This is one of the lowest rated in the 2020s. Basically, the graphics look very outdated. The story mode is very undercooked and not finished. And they said, apart from adding a roster and that, it feels like you are just pissing 50 quid away. So their exact thing was, if you had the excellent 2025 version, which was very well reviewed, stick with that. So that is there. Chloe gets 2 in a row. Well done, Chloe. You are doing fantastic. Let's see who else. Did anyone else say 6.5? Or was it just Chloe? Flame was very close. And Emily with a 6. I think it might just be Chloe. That's an easy shout out. There you go, Iquel. Iquel went with an 8. So it's a little bit shout. Yeah, Chloe was the only one. Well done. Well done. I think most went for 6 or 7. Yeah, I'm not doing a 6-7 joke. Not this week. I've had enough of that shit. But yeah, in the middle with a 6.5. On to our next game. Swiftly moving on. This also came out last Tuesday on PC. And it's time for you lot to be getting medieval. Because we're going medieval.
We started as 3. At first, we survived, barely keeping death at bay. But we built from the land, a roof for shelter, a stockpile for storage, and a desk to plan our settlement.
As bandits and bears stirred in the trees, we crafted weapons and armor. To protect what we built, we fought, and we won.
Soon we weren't just surviving, but thriving. Through bountiful harvests and freezing winters, thunderstorms and heat waves, our numbers grew. Everyone had their skills and their quirks, but there were jobs for all. We created a community, a beacon for divinity, a place to connect with the past, or earn some coin.
But we had to defend our success. We armed ourselves from everything from hammers to crossbows, traps to siege weapons. We honed ourselves into a force to be reckoned with.
We started as 3 and built our future.
Good evening, Blue Lou. Welcome on in. Good to see you. Ooh, is there a trebuchet that instantly ups the rating? Well, let's see. Dave, tell us about this one. A lot of people in the chat liking the look of this. This is normally 25 quid, but it's technically on sale at 20 quid until Thursday. So if you do like the look of this, you might get yourself a bargain. All yours.
Well, this is a medieval city builder. So I think it's been like a great plague that's decimated most of humanity. So it's up to you to start building a new town back up, start trying to save humanity, and make sure other people don't get sick. So you got to slowly build up the town. Make sure you sort of fortify it properly because there's plenty of raiders out there going to come and attack you. It looks like some decent like trebuchet action in there as well. Stuff can get set on fire and burned down. So you've really got to try and manage it all properly. Try to keep everyone alive. I think it looks pretty good. I quite like the graphical style they've gone for. Sort of low polygon style for the characters, and a bit more detail for the actual buildings and stuff, which seems to mix quite well. I think for people who've enjoyed things like Manlords, that was under the good builder from a couple of years back. If you enjoyed that, then you're probably going to enjoy something like this. I think it looks pretty good. I'd be tempted to give this a blast.
Yeah. Jack just said, got to be up at 6 for work. This has been fun. Great news. Thank you, Jack. Take care. And then he finishes by saying, come to OL26. We'll talk about more about that in a little bit. So we'll do that. John, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it looks interesting. It's not the kind of thing that I tend to play. I think my question is, who is this for? Because if you like your city builders, they're 10 a penny. There's loads of those. But if you like your medieval type stuff, you're looking at things like Civilization and that kind of stuff at the top end of this sort of spectrum. And I don't know how long this game is. If this is something that I have to play for 100 hours, then I don't think it would be enough to grab me. I would need to have a lot more detail in it. If it is something where you work through the time and you're building up and you're doing your combat and taking over your area and whatnot, and the whole sort of thing takes about 20 hours, then that would be a nice little bite-sized chunk of a game that I think I could definitely get into. I think it looks very well crafted, but because I'm old, I compare this kind of stuff to original SimCity and Megalomania and things like that from the 90s. And I'd probably prefer playing Megalomania. But it looks right. It looks right.
A lot of people saying it's like a 3D version of RimWorld. Quite a few people in chat saying that. Apparently it takes about 21 and a half hours to complete.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. There you go. Bear, hello. First time here. Hey there. This is an open panel. Kind of, but not. You'll get the flow. You'll see what we're doing. So stick with us and you'll understand what's going on. But lovely to have you here. That's £1 per hour of gameplay. If so, that's cheaper than the cinema. That's a good way
to look at it.
Yeah. There you go. Dave Johnson, good evening. Hope you're well. Dead Toxic, good evening. Welcome on in as well. Right. If you've just joined us, we don't review the games, but we guess the scores or the average score set by all the critics. We are talking about Going Medieval, which came out last Tuesday on PC. Let's see what scores people are saying. And God, I've got to scroll all the way back up again. Let's have a look. Scrolling down. Gonna find it now. Danker, 7.5. Chloe, a solid 7. Gozzo, 7.5. Gonna find it. Hannah, 7.5. DJ says how. Oh no, that was how long it takes to play. Kizra, 7 out of 10. WV, 8.5. Polycomical, 7.5. DJ found the correct one. 8 out of 10. Emily, 8 out of 10. Rock News, 8 out of 10. Mike says 6.8. I will ride you up. Hopefully not. Round you up to a 7 out of 10 because it's only halves and whole numbers. So if you want a 7, if you want to change it to 6.5, let me know. That's absolutely fine. Vagarus, 7.5. Flame, 8. Kindred, 7.5. Retro Shazar, 7. John, I'll start with you. What do you reckon?
I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say 8.5 because I do like the look of it. And I would like to be more impressed by it because I would like to actually give this a go. So I want it to be good. So I'm saying 8.5.
Okay, 8.5 from John. Dave, what say you?
I'm going to try a 7.
Okay, going for a safe 7. There you go. iQuell coming in with a 6. Dave Johnson, 6.5. Ride you up is going to be a new catchphrase. We can implement that into tomorrow night's show. Don't you worry. Okay, if there are no more scores, this does look like a fun game, says Polycomical. I can tell you that this got, on average, 7.5. So, again, you guys were quite close, but not quite there. But we did have some 7.5s in the chat. Let's have a look. Kindred, well done. Vagorous, well done. You got it right as well. Polycomical, you got it right. Scrolling up now. Hannah, well done. You got it right. We've got ads going on Twitch. No, we haven't. Ads going to be starting soon. Sorry. Gozzo, you got it right. Danker, you got it right as well. No one's actually 4 for 4 yet. 0.5 out. Dang it, says Chloe. So close so far. Shout outs will be going out very soon. Also, I'm going to say this. Please do go follow all the people, whether it's their YouTube channel or their Twitch channel. They spend the time to come and watch this show, either with the guests or come and watch the show every week. So we'd greatly appreciate that if you give them a follow, because they spend the time to come here and watch the show and give the love back. So please do that. I'm going to do a quick roundup, as I always do, of some other gaming news that's happened. So this is an interesting one. There will be, or it's already in production, a redesigned Switch 2 coming to European markets. This is because of new legislation in Europe, and it's all to do about removable batteries. Basically, products that don't have removable batteries are not going to be allowed anymore. iPhones have started to implement this, and PlayStation 5 controllers started to implement this. Basically, they're letting people get replacement batteries for certain products. This means that the Switch 2 in Europe has now got to go with this legislation, and it means that you will be able to remove the lithium batteries in the actual machine and in the actual controllers. So that's the only big thing. Now, whether this then changes for other markets around the world, we will have to see. This should be a win for the consumer. I agree, especially for PlayStation 5 controllers, because that annoys the shit out of me. Nintendo will make it a special Mario edition to trick me into buying it again. So there you go. So that is happening in due course later this year. And obviously we had Dan from Kepler Interactive on the show last week talking about how much a success the Expedition 33 was. And hot off the heels of that, and the fact that his new Daredevil series launched on Disney Plus as of today, Charlie Cox, the well-known actor who played Gustav in Expedition 33, has announced that he loved being involved in a computer game so much that he is now involved with another new game. Now, he's not stated what that game is, but he said that he's getting a lot more involved than he was in Expedition 33. Now, I'm not giving you any spoilers for Expedition 33, but he only did the voice of Gustav. He didn't do the mocap for it. So this next new game is stated that he's going to do the voice and the mocap for. Love Charlie Cox a bit. Think he's a great actor, seen him in lots of things. Can't wait to see what he does for that new game. Any thoughts on either of those news stories? Chat, Dave or John, and let us know. And then we will talk a little bit more about OLL. Sophie, good evening. Lovely to have you here. Great to see you.
Nothing that much to add. I think it's just nice that we hopefully we'll see the the redesigned Switch with the replacement battery options over here. Because it is a pain when you've got these devices and you can't get at the battery. That's the only thing that's wrong with it. You got to send it off and pay a fortune to get one repaired. It's nice if you actually got the option to do it yourself. And if they're redesigning it to make it easier, that'll be a plus. Because if anyone's ever tried to open up the Switch Joy-Cons, they are a fiddly little pain. I've repaired a few myself in the past now. So fucking fiddly. So anything to make it slightly easier to get into the battery bit and just swap that out, definitely a plus point.
So it's not just the Switch then. It must be the Joy-Cons as well, mustn't it?
Correct.
Yeah.
And controllers. And it can't just be Switch. This must be every device. So we're talking so Steam Deck's controllers, literally anything else that you own.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to have different versions. And chances are it'll just become a worldwide rollout because they're not going to make a special one just for one part of the world. They'll just make that the standard for everybody, I would have thought, wouldn't they? But yeah, interesting. I don't think it will change my game playing habits, other than the fact that no doubt they'll take that as an opportunity to add an extra kind of, an extra megabyte of memory or something into it, which then makes you think, oh, I better buy one, That's how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah. There you go. Switch is the most problematic consoles I've had. Bad build quality. I have to say, I think that the back of the Switch 2 is its most horrible feature. I do love my Switch 2, but that bloody back panel don't stay on half the time. When you're trying to put the cables on and clip it back in, it just bloody falls off. So that's my only thing I don't like about it. So if they can kind of fix the other things with it, but as you say, it might get a global rollout at some point. Now let's talk more OLL, because we've obviously discussed about the fact that we've got Dominic Diamond at let's bring this up here at the show doing his own special game show. We also, which is the Dominic Diamond's Retro Rumble, also talked about the stage shows and content, the special Everybody Plays prize draw. But let's talk about some other things at the event as well. Links for OLL will appear as I'm talking. So you've got, because OLL last time had some fantastic gaming markets, didn't it? So yeah, I take it you've got a lot of quality goods and things for people to buy. So if they're looking for gifts or they're looking for their own builds for their collection, there's going to be lots of stuff there.
Yes. It's the short answer for that.
Right, and we'll move on to the next bit.
Well, to be honest, there's not much to say, because you know what to expect when it comes to a gaming market. We've got a lot of people who've been to our previous events are returning for this one. There's another event that takes place in Norwich, which is the video game retro market, which comes to the Forum in Norwich. If you're local, you might know about it. Takes place every 3 months. We're going to be at that this coming weekend, and a lot of the traders that are there are also going to be popping up at OLL26 as well. Long story short, basically, we're circling the whole of the outside of the venue. Like it's one big sort of hall with a stage at one end. Yeah. The whole of the outside of the venue, that's going to be artists and traders selling their wares throughout the day, from doors till close, basically. Nice. And some of them may pack up for the evening show, once the Dominic Diamond thing starts. Attention's going to be on that, I would have thought, for the evening. But certainly it will be going from doors open until the evening. And you'll be able to get all your hopefully you'll be able to find all of your hidden gems and classics, and new releases as well. I think we have got a couple of retailers doing some new games too. Probably the only thing that's really sort of worth noting about this is I've been able to curate our traders a bit more than what we normally would, because of course our venue is not the same size as other things that we may have done in the past. It does mean that I've been able to be a bit more selective. So rather than having 10 different stands all selling Funko Pops, Funko Pops are great. I'm sure one of them is going to be selling Funko Pops, but we haven't just got 10 people selling the same thing, basically. I've been careful to make sure that we know that we've got our trusted retailers that we've worked with before. Last Level Games, of course, the big local ones that we have here. But we've made sure that everyone that we've got who's coming is offering something slightly different. For example, we've got a couple of guys that just do import stuff only. So if you do like your Japanese games, plenty of that to come along as well. And then you've got your traditional, 16-bit, 8-bit resellers. But then we've also got some ones that are going to be some more collectible items too as well. And we've got some new faces coming along as well. So we've got a good mix, I think. I'm really happy with how that's going to come out.
I'm really looking forward to see all, and hopefully I don't make myself bankrupt again. So we'll have to see. Obviously, we did talk about tournaments as well. You mentioned Tekken 8, the Street Fighter 6, Super Smash Bros, and Mario Kart 8, which take place throughout the day, as well as the cosplay competition. Cosplay is back. Yes. And obviously, as you just mentioned, there's a lot of people based from Norwich area that are also taking part in the event. Norwich Retro Gamers, Nintendo Norwich, Coastal Retro Gaming, Norwich Amiga Group, Albion Games Cafe, Norwich VR Escape Rooms, Norwich Games Festival, obviously yourselves.
And us, yes.
Yes. So let's go talk about tickets. As I say, the event runs from 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. The daytime session runs from 10 a.m. till 5:30. The evening stage show with Dominic Diamond, and I guess there's a few other things going on as well, from 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. Go get your tickets now. VIP tickets have sold out, but a full day ticket with everything included is £27.50, and a daytime ticket for adults is £16.50. and a evening ticket for adults is £13.20. You can also get child's tickets and family tickets for the daytime as well. We also have, well, I guess I kind of have something special to announce, and this is courtesy of John. And I want to say thank you to John, because he has basically made my childhood dream come true, because I never thought this would ever happen. But for those that know me, know that, again, I say big thank you to John, because OLL23 was the first event that I was invited as a guest and got to be on stage. And ever since that, I seem to be at every fucking gaming event going, which is great. I'm not moaning, but it's great. And if it wasn't for that, I don't think I would have met certain people and it wouldn't have spiraled that way. So again, thank you to John. And just when I think I couldn't thank him anymore, if you are going to the event, obviously, as mentioned, the wonderful Dominic Diamond is going to be there. And I always did wonder what would happen if I could ever be on Games Master. Well, I've got the next best thing, because I have got the honor for one of the gaming challenges to be in the commentary booth alongside Dominic. I don't know what the challenge is yet. We're not going to spoil that. But I am going to be up on stage with the one and only Mr. Dominic Diamond for one of the gaming challenges, being in that good old commentary booth. So, John, thank you so much.
No worries, man.
Really appreciate that. And yeah, and I can't say thank you more, because that's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be good fun, isn't it? I think
it's going to be great.
While I can't reveal what games are going to be used for the challenges, because if we revealed them in advance, people would practice.
Yes.
But if you are a fan of that certain 90s TV show, you'll have a very good idea of the types of games and some of the ones that are going to be on there. But I'm also not going to tell you which game I'm going to get you to
No, please don't. I want it to be
I want it to be a surprise for you as well. But I think you're going to be very happy. You're going to be happy with this one.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to it. You could throw anything at me, and I'll probably just be there with a big grin on my face going, and Dominic can be going, can you do your job, please? I'm just going,
oh yeah, he's probably going to take the piss out of all of us. I'm
I'm
fully
expecting
that.
Shit rips out of me, but I can't wait, because that's all part of it, isn't it? So
yeah,
it's going to be great. It's going to be great. I can't wait. So, folks, go get your tickets now. Links will appear. They are pinned to the top of the Twitch chat. But get your tickets now. It's going to be a fabulous, fabulous event, and I'm so glad that OLL is back. Yeah, I can't say more. And John, thank you so much for inviting me again. It's going
to be good fun, mate. It's going to be good fun.
It's going to be great. Dave Johnson said, I wouldn't have met Mag if it not for OL. So, son of John, how could you do this to me?
Oh, Dave, I'm so sorry. If only I'd known. You should have said.
It is the 11th of April, if I've got that correct.
That's right. Yes.
11th of April. So please do go put that in your diaries. 10 a.m. till 10 p.m. Over at Epic Studios in Norwich. So go check it out. It's going to be fantastic. Oh, God, here we go. Didn't Dave get ignored at OLL? I did. There's this whole story that obviously Ashens was next to me, and I got to know Stuart. And funny enough, I was on Stuart's show on Sunday night, and we've got to know each other and become friends. And then Dave said, well, you ignored me. And it's been a running thing all this time. I've still yet to say whether I did or did not. I wouldn't have met Dave if it wasn't for OLL. There's a lot to be answered for. Jesse. Good evening, Jesse. Oh, no. There you go. And Sophie says, I didn't meet Dave at OLL. And Sophie was at OLL. I know she was there. So, yeah. So that's hilarious. Yeah.
I can only apologise. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. There you go. Who's Dave? Dave Johnson. Oh, God, here we go. Bloody OLL. There we go. Anyway, moving on with the show, the big game of this week. This is a game that was hotly tipped in our 50 games to look for this year. This is out on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And this comes from Pearl Abyss, the makers of Black Desert Online. But this time they are doing a solo RPG game, and this is Crimson Desert. Let's have a look at the trailer now.
It's time.
take back what was stolen. So, you're finally here. You were expecting me?
Well, you Greymanes are a hard lot to kill, clawing your way back from death's door over and over. How'd you do it?
Let's find out, shall we?
There you go. So there's a lot riding on this one. This is Crimson Desert. This was our number 2 game of 50 games that people were saying are going to be the hottest thing this year. Dave, let's find out a little bit about this.
Yeah, I played a few hours of it over the weekend. So this is another one of those games where the hype levels were going like up quite high just before release. But it is another one of those games that can't quite live up to the hype. You know, it's kind of like the developers have like looked at a lot of like the big open world games like the last couple of years and just like grabbed bits from each of them and just like mushed them into like one like massive package, because this is like a huge game. I think they say the map is like twice the size of Red Dead Redemption 2, something ridiculous like that. And it is a visually gorgeous game as well. It looks absolutely stunning, and for a change, it's actually pretty well optimized, especially on PC where I've been playing it. I'm not running like a top of the line machine. But it lets me crank the graphics up to maximum on it, and it looks really, really good.
Nice.
Okay. But yeah, as to like gameplay wise, I would sort of mark it as sort of quite janky in a number of ways. Its control scheme, especially on controller, is quite awkward. Really, they've got so many different inputs because there's so much in there. They've got to like try and give you a way to control it. Just, sometimes you've got like sort of multiple presses of the same thing. Like click right, click left stick to crouch, or hold it to use one of the special like abilities. You got awkward things like that, and trying to remember where all this stuff is on the controller can get a bit awkward sometimes. And gameplay wise, it's kind of got that. I'd say it makes you think of sort of Red Dead Redemption 2 in some ways, because of how sort of visually like dense the world is, all the systems that are going on there, and how the character feels to move. He's got a bit of weight behind him. Doesn't always feel like he does things immediately when you're like pressing the buttons or moving the sticks. So it feels a bit like that. But then you've got quite a lot of I'd say the more recent Zelda sort of style to it, in the way that some of the things play, because you can climb up anything. You've got sky isles you can get to explore, lots of like sort of puzzles out in the world to solve as well. So it's mixing quite a lot together, but because it's trying to do so much, I say it probably is just lacking polish across all the areas. So it's jack of all trades but master of none. But I'm still quite enjoying what I've played so far. It seems all right. I'll probably put a few more hours into it. Whether I'll complete it, I don't know, because a lot of people say you can put like well over 100+ hours into this game if you want to. I think if you were to just mainline the main quest, they say about 60 hours. So there is a lot to do in it. The one thing I will say though, narrative wise, if you wanted to go into this for a really good story, you're not going to get a good story, because one of the main things that gets brought up is the narrative is a bit iffy, and especially at the start, because that's like the first initial couple of bits where it's like you got the beginning introduction. Kind of after that, it just really gives you like objectives to go and do, but no narrative reason for why you're doing them. It's just like, go and talk to this beggar. Why? No one's mentioned him. He's just kind of out there. It's not like he's called you out or anything like that. He just tells you to go and talk to him, and then he walks away. The next thing he tells you to go explore the sewers. But he was lying on the sewer, great, but he mentioned nothing about that to you.
Yeah.
And then you go to that, and it's something else different. It's like these aren't linked. There's no narrative reason for you to do it. It's just text on screen saying, "Do this." It's a bit weak there.
I think the reason they've done that is they've taken the formula that worked well with Black Desert, which was the big open world, MMORPG, and you can just go do this quest, do this, do this, because that's the idea of being on an online internet, game like that. But that doesn't work for a single player game because you're expecting a narrative, and they've not.
So you can be a bit confused sometimes. Like, why am I doing this?
Yeah.
And I say other bits of it can be a bit unintuitive. Like some of the puzzles aren't particularly intuitive. It's quite interesting for some of the previews, where some of the previewers are struggling with some of the early puzzles in the prologue section. And when you play that now, they pretty much just put like text on the screen telling you how to solve the puzzle, because it was quite unintuitive. And I think some of them are still a bit unintuitive the further you play. So it's a game that ultimately is going to be a bit of a Marmite game for most people. You are either going to like it or you're not, or you're not going to like it at all. I'm kind of in the like it camp at the moment. I think it's janky and a bit awkward, but I'm getting some enjoyment out of it. So I'm going to play a bit more, see how it goes.
Okay. I just want to say good night to Supermod Sophie. She's not been very well. She's got the flu, bless her. So just say good night, Soph. Take care. Appreciate you popping in, even though you're not well. So there you go. Appreciate that. A lot of critics and streamers gave up because they couldn't do the puzzles and got killed early on. John, your thoughts on this? Do you like a good RPG? I'm guessing you do.
Yeah, God, yes, I do. And this is the problem, because in order for a giant open world RPG to make its mark, it's got to be in that absolute top 1% of games. Yeah. Otherwise, everyone will just claim, rightly or wrongly, that it's just no good. Because the competition that you're up against, like Crimson Desert, it's up against things like Witcher, it's up against, Elden Ring, GTAs, Red Deads, etc., that kind of stuff, So unless it is pretty much perfect in every regard, it's going to get some criticism. Even if it is clearly a well-made game, because graphically, you look at the presentation of that, it's a stunning looking game. There's clearly been a high budget, a lot of effort has gone towards making this game. From what I've seen, it does look like the activities in this open world are a bit repetitive. And I think after you've done the first 20 hours and you're just going to repeat that in new regions as you unlock new regions and stuff, I could see it getting a bit repetitive. It does need a better story. But then it's not always the most important thing when it comes to open world games. But it really depends what the character progression, the character builds are like. But this is the thing, is like, I look at a game like this, and unless it's going to... But this is kind of a thing... I'm going to go off on a tangent now. Hang on. I won't be long. But whenever I look at buying a new game, particularly a new AAA game, the graphics don't really make too much of a deal. They're not a deal breaker for me. I like them to look good, but I don't care if it doesn't look 100%. But what I always look for when I buy a new game, if I'm going to be spending, 50, 60, even 70 quid on a new game, above all else, I want this game to do something that I haven't seen before. Yeah. And that is harder and harder and harder to get these days. Or if it doesn't do something new, I want it to do something nostalgic, but do it in a fresh way. Yeah. So, for example, like Resident Evil Requiem, very, very classic Resident Evil gameplay, but in a really well presented modern style. Brilliant game. Loved it. But this, it looks great, but I don't see it doing anything that I haven't already done in a Red Dead or an Elden Ring. And for that reason, I'm left thinking, I'm sure it's all right, but I don't feel incentivized to play it. If I've never played an open world RPG in my life before, I would probably play this for the first time and think it's incredible. But it just doesn't feel like it's going to offer me something I haven't seen before.
Okay. All right. Well, we will talk about updates and other things that have happened since launch. We're one of the news stories we're going to be talking about in a few moments. But let's see what the critics say. Now, someone did say, is the critics scores based on before the game came out or after the updates? Now, here's the interesting thing. Both. There's still some game outlets that haven't put reviews out there. I didn't take IGN's review into consideration because it's a game in progress review. I only took the ones that had actually played it. Some did it before the patches came, some did it after. So this is going to be interesting. So let's have a look at what scores we got so far. Chat, if you just joined us, we're not reviewing the games, but you certainly can have a guess of what scores the critics are saying. Now, back when we did the New Year specials, this was our number 2 games to look out for. Danker does predictions, bless him. And at the end of the year, we see how many of the predictions he got right. So he predicted back in January, this was going to get an 8 out of 10. And he's not allowed to change that score. It's a little game that we play, which is cool. So fingers crossed. So Gozzo is going with an 8 as well. With the comments, Chloe says an 8. I'm going to quickly say this, Mike. We will talk about Screamer on next week's show. I was due to stream it on Thursday, but I've now had to push that stream back to next week because I'm being sponsored by Fortnite on Thursday. So money. Got to pay for shit. So yeah. But we will do a stream of Screamer and we will talk about it on Tuesday's show next week. Kizra, 7.5. Emily, 7.5. 8 from WV, 6.5 from Polycomical, 7.5 from iQuail. Just scrolling back down here. 8 from Rock News, 8 from Mike, 8 from Hannah, 8 from Flame. Also, good evening, Gilfly. I saw that you said you've been playing this and enjoying it. 7.5 from Gilfly, 8 from Kindred, 8 from Retro Jazar, 7 for Vagras. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon?
I think I'll go for an 8.
Okay, going for an 8. John?
I was going to say 8 as well. It shouldn't be an 8, but I think all these critics would have been sent copies of the game. They'll have done all sorts of features and stuff on it. So I think it'll get an 8.
Okay, all right. Mods could be busy on this one. They could be. Shall we find out? This is your last chance, folks. This is Crimson Desert, which came out last Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC. And I think you said it was about 55 quid on all platforms, I believe. Kindred, if I got that wrong, please do correct me. I can't be bothered to scroll the way up. FYI, John, I've installed the demo for Medieval going immediately. We'll have to trebuchet by midnight.
Yeah, no early night tonight then, right?
No, there you go. Right, if there are no more scores in chat, I can tell you that this was very polarized. Very polarized. And the average score worked out because some did give it as scores as high as 8 and some gave it scores less than 6, but it did work out as 7 out of 10 on average. 7 out of 10 on average. But what will be interesting to see is there are certain outlets, as I said, who are still doing reviews in progress. So we might see more reviews next week. And I might just have a quick look and mention it in next week's show and see if that average score has gone up or down.
IGN have finished their review now. I don't know when they finished it, but it stayed on a 6. They reckoned a 6 during the review in progress, and it's still a 6 now.
Oh, okay. So that must have come out sometime because they're reviewing progress.
I looked an hour or 2 ago.
Oh yeah, I would have finished
before the show.
I finished writing the show at 5 o'clock, so I go by what's at 5 o'clock today. So there you go. But yeah, so a 7 out of 10 for this. So there you go. Let's see who got that right. Did anyone say 7? Let's have a look. A couple of people, shout outs going. Vagras, well done. You got it right. God help me. I bet the mods are happy didn't say 8. That would have been hard going. Do you know what? Is that the only person that said 7?
I think so, yeah.
It is. Oh, my life. Okay. There you go. Only one person. Well done. Well done. Yeah. There you go. I'll save my money and just get another PS2 game instead. There you go. No one on Twitch got it right. There you go. Well, we will talk more Crimson Desert shortly. But before we do, let's have a look at our 6th game. You didn't, Dave. Shush. You did not say 7. Don't start that. He always does this. Drops the score in after I've said the score.
Crafty, isn't he?
God. Here's our next game that came out on Thursday. This came out on PS5, Xbox Series XS, and PC, and will come out on Switch 2 on the 29th of this month. This is called Rushing Beat X, Return of the Brawl Brothers. My God, there's a mouthful. Let's have a look at the trailer for this.
I'll bring justice with my own hands.
Now, face the consequences.
Let's spice things up a bit, shall we?
Let's give them a show they'll never forget.
Feel the weight of my fist.
My feud, like a raging inferno. Shall we proceed with data collection?
I'm afraid it's time for you to bow out.
There you go. Apparently, this already came out on Switch 2. So maybe when they sent me the dates, it got brought forward. Maybe it came out the same day as all the others. So I apologize. I'm only giving what I got sent. So if it's already out on Switch 2, it's already out. So we'll say that. There you go. This makes me feel like I'm back on my Sega Mega Drive, says Chloe. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this one.
Yeah, this is pretty much a standard size scrolling beat 'em up. Back like stuff you used to play back in the like the 16-bit days and the Mega Drive and the SNES. Now, I think this series was originally out on the SNES, so it's been dormant for about like 30 odd years, and then someone's decided to revive the franchise and bring out a new game, which I didn't think looked that great when I was watching a gameplay video earlier. I'd say graphic-wise, it looks pretty generic. Nothing remarkable about the graphics at all. We've seen some good-looking side-scrolling beat-ups in recent years, like Streets of Rage 4, Shredder's Revenge, the Marvel's Cosmic Avengers. Invasion. That's it. And those all look pretty good graphics-wise. They had decent styles that stood out, but this one just looks kind of generic, and the gameplay just didn't look that interesting when I was watching the video earlier. So it looks like a pretty sort of average beat 'em up. There's better ones out there, I would say. This just looks like fairly standard fare. Nothing remarkable at all about it.
Okay. Kindred saying it's down to £15.07 on Steam, normally £16.75, £16 on PlayStation, £16.74 on Xbox, £18 down to £16.19 on Switch. So there's a couple of things you got to sell, but roughly you're looking about 16 to £18 for this one. John, your thoughts? Because it's obviously giving retro vibes.
It's up my street. The weird thing is, though, is I don't remember the original. Was this maybe Super Famicom only rather than SNES? Or was it
apparently SNES and Super Famicom?
So it was released in Europe, this game?
Yeah.
I suppose, though, the Streets of Rage time would have been when I had the Mega Drive before I got the SNES, so I might have moved on to other things, and I just missed it. But, not something I'm familiar with. But looking at it, I agree with Dave. It is quite generic. It's clearly been put together because Streets 4 has done well, the Turtles revision has done well, the Battletoads re-release a couple of years ago has done well. It is, to be fair, though, one of my favourite genres. We've got a new Shinobi, we've got a new Ninja Gaiden. All these old franchises are coming back, and in many cases with their original gameplay styles as well. So I will applaud that. But, like Dave said, it doesn't look like it's doing anything original, I don't know what to think of it, but I'm not blown away. I'm not blown away.
All right. Okay. Apparently, when it out of Japan, it had different names, but when it was over it's called something else. Thank you, iQuell. Let's see what scores are people saying for this one. Let's go start at 7. Right, there you go. Danker says 7 to play it safe. Gozzo 7. iQuail, 7.5. Hannah, 7.5. Kizra, 8. Chloe, 6.5. Polycomical, 8. WV, 8.5. Flame, 8. Emily, 7.5. Mike, 7. Retro Shazar, 8. Chat, get your scores in if you haven't already. John, I'll start with you. What do you reckon?
Safe 7.
A safe 7. Okay. Dave, what say you?
I was thinking the same. I'll play it safe.
Okay. Playing it safe with a 7. Diamond Dog, hello. Welcome on in. Saying a 6 out of 10. Kindred saying a 7. Dave Johnson says, I vote the right answer out of 10. Let's see how that pans out for you. Folks, last chance. This is a Rushing Beat X Return of the Brawl Brothers, which came out last Thursday on PS5, Xbox Series X, PC, and Switch 2, I should say, because you can't get it on normal Switch. And if there are no other scores, Kindred saying a 7, I can tell you that this got, on average, 6.5.
Close again.
Close. Chloe gets her 3rd. Well done, Chloe. So there's quite a few of you got 3 or more right tonight. So some of you are doing really well. Well done. And why the hell not? Let's play with it. Congratulations to Dave Johnson that also got it right because he said correct answer out of 10.
Fair play too.
And I'll let you have that for one time only tonight. You can only play that card. It's like a get out of jail free card. So there you go. Well done, Chloe, for getting that right. Let's talk about some more Crimson Desert news. So this is an interesting one because when the first reviews started to come out, the publishers, Pearl Abyss, stock price plummeted by 30%, which meant that it was the equivalent of £13 or $13 per share. They have sunk 7 years of production into Crimson Desert, and I think it's roughly the equivalent of $33 million if it's turned into US from Japanese yen. However, this was disappointing at first, and people were saying, is this going to be a game that's going to tank? And it turns out not so much as people thought, because within the first day, it hit 2 million sales already. 2 million copies have been sold. And despite that, even though the patch came out to fix a lot of the things that people addressed, such as you have all your items in a bag, but there's nowhere to store them in your home, a bit like how you do with Resident Evil, your management. They've now patched that and a number of other things. The stock price went down by another 10%, so a total of 40% overall, and a 10% share drop overall. However, the reviews are mostly positive, and especially on Steam, the reviews are more so positive after the patch. So, as we said, with Starfield, that was a game that kind of came out and everyone went, meh. At the moment, the reviews are saying on average, some people are raving about this game, some people are not liking it at all. However, with the patches coming out and all the other stuff that's been suggested, I know Kindred saying, no, well, they might look at some multiplayer stuff. They're looking at do this and DLC content and blah, blah, blah. Could this game very quickly get raised up and be in a better position within a couple of weeks compared to, say, Starfield, that's taken nearly bloody 3 years to actually do anything? What are your thoughts on this? And will Crimson Desert end up being a success rather than a failure?
Well, I think it's been pretty successful so far because you say sold 2 million copies, so it's doing well. People do for the most part seem to like it, and the devs are listening to feedback, especially about the controls and especially about that lack of a storage box in your home, which is a pretty basic thing in a big RPG like this. You need somewhere to dump all the shit you're carrying that you don't want to drop or sell. So they are listening. They are adding things in pretty quickly because I think they had a patch out Monday, and that addressed quite a lot of things. I think it also helped nerf some of the boss fights a little bit to make them a little bit easier, because some people have been saying those are pretty tricky. You get used to fighting the mobs, and suddenly you got this boss with all these fancy moves just whizzing around. the arena is just kicking the shit out of you. So they've nerfed a bit of that. So there's still going to be some feedback. Going to keep fixing things up. If they can make the controls better, because as I said, they are quite fiddly. If they can find a way to like improve those, make it feel better, then you'll probably see the Steam score go up a little bit more. Probably won't make a felt like a difference to like Open Critic or Metacritic now, because reviews are pretty much out for the majority. But I think the game will do pretty well in the long run. I'm sure the share price will just recover. I think it was just down to like investors getting a bit of cold feet on release day when they didn't see the high score they were perhaps expecting for the game, because it had been overhyped. So people get swept up in that and expect these high scores across the board. But it didn't live up to the hype. It's still a good game, but it doesn't live up to the hype.
Interesting enough, having a look at Metacritic, it has gone up. It's at 78%. So it has gone up.
That's good. That's
gradually.
Good for Metacritic.
Yeah. So it might even approach on the sort of 80%. We'll have to see.
Depends on reviews left to come out, or if people revise their scores and they get reevaluated.
John, your thoughts on this? Whether they could turn this around?
Yeah, I mean the best thing is that they've reacted to it positively, and that they're making these changes quickly, because I think and just like we were saying with Starfield, if you leave it too long, everyone switches off. But now, the people that are still invested, people are still buying the game. It's still in the press. It's still being talked about. So now is the time for them to do these player feedback corrections or additions. So it sounds like they're absolutely doing the right thing. I'm still intrigued, and if I hear more popular things, more positive things about it, then I may consider picking it up if they might add something new to it. This is Bandai Namco, right?
Is
that right?
Pearl Abyss.
Pearl Abyss. Sorry, I was mistaken. My bad. Okay. What am I thinking of Bandai Namco for? What's their big? Oh, they've got a big open world thing, haven't they?
They have, and I'm trying to think what it is, because now my mind's gone blank.
Well, they published Elden Ring, if you're thinking of that one.
Oh yeah, of course.
There was that, wasn't there?
Yes. There was that thing. It was Game of the Year a few years back. Yeah, I forgot about that.
A few people took notice of it.
Man, what a game that was. Sorry to go off again.
That is
right. Kindred, it'd be interesting if the multiplayer is fully multiplayer or more like a co-op, or you load into a new game purely for multiplayer. That'd be interesting to see. A bit like what they did with Elden Ring Night Rain. Toxic positivity has killed a lot of games lately. I agree. Oh yeah, that little game. Gozzo has just told us that the big news: the physical standard edition mouse PI for hire releases worldwide across PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch 2 on July the 10th, 2026.
Yeah.
Cool. Can't wait. I will be streaming that game because I've been sent a copy next month. I can confirm that, but unfortunately, it won't be a physical. It's a digital. But hey, I can live with it. If I like it that much, then I'll go get a physical. There you go. One of John's favourite games, and he forgot.
Yeah, I just forgot Elden Ring. That's fine.
Yeah, fine. It's all good. Let's move on to our final two games of the night. Now, this game got a lot of critical acclaim last year when it came to PlayStation 5, and it now finally gets its release on PC. This is Death Stranding 2 on the beach.
Rated M for mature.
There you go. Walking Simulator 2 is now on PC. For any of those who didn't know, this Danka said when this was on our show last year, it got an 8.5 out of 10 for the PS5 version. So we'll have to see how this differs. Dave, tell us a little bit more about this for those who aren't familiar with Walking Simulator 2.
Well, yes, there is definitely a lot of walking to be done. Especially the case like the first game where you had a massive open map that was meant to be America, but looked a bit more like Iceland the way they designed it. And it was a case of pretty much delivering parcels, if you like. You had to go from like place to place, delivering stuff that people were expecting, and you were connecting them to what was called the Kiral network in the game. And the second game is basically more of that, but I think they have sort of sanded off some of the rough edges that were in the first game to make it a little bit more easier for people to play. I think there's a lot more use of vehicles that you can get early on as well. So it's not going to be quite so much walking, but you still got to travel point A to point B, delivering stuff, connecting people up to this network. But this game, the first one was in America. This one mostly takes place, I think, in Mexico and then Australia. So you got a bit of difference to the environments, but still a lot of walking from point A to B with a batshit crazy Kojima story going on in there. Because you watch a lot of those cutscenes, the little clips you see in the trailer, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense what's going on. So I don't know. And it never grabbed me the first game, so that's why I haven't picked up the second. I think it looks really nice. Graphically, it's an absolute stunner. There's some fantastic things they've done in the game, graphics wise. But I don't know. First one didn't grab me, so I have not felt compelled to the second. But I've heard a lot of people sing its praises, but not for me at the moment.
It's funny because I never played the first one, and I was kind of like, I'm not interested in the concept of the first one. But after seeing all the stuff and all the discussions, second one, I would like to play this second one because it's got a lot more to it. But whether I ever get round to it, who knows? John, did you play the first one, or intrigued by this second one?
I played half of the first one, and I found it a little repetitive and a little slow. Okay. It seems to me, Kojima. I mean, Kojima's he's great in everything. We know this. Maybe not with his later games. But it seems like he's there in his little think tank, or whenever it is that he designs his things and has his little flashes of inspiration. He wakes up in the middle of the night and writes some notes down or whatever. And it's like he comes up with these incredible moments that look really good in a cutscene. And it's like this snapshot would be brilliant. And he makes that. And then he makes another one that's completely abstract and different. But then he just tries to somehow link them together with some crazy convoluted bullshit story. And it's just mad. And you either appreciate and enjoy this just mad as a box of frogs style game, and you just embrace that, or you don't. And while I didn't get through to the end of the first Death Stranding, I can appreciate it for what it is, and I can appreciate Kojima for what it is that he does. But what I do appreciate is the fact that he does just try new stuff. It's different. It's always it's interesting. Whatever happens, you can say whatever you like about Kojima games these days, but you can't say that they don't still catch your interest, because my God, that man could make a trailer. And the presentation, my only question, I would just finish on one question. How much do I have to spend on a new PC to run this game with all of those effects in ultra widescreen?
Oh, chat, let us know. Do some research for us, please.
Am I going to have to break into some military installation and steal some hardware that's capable of running that on ultra? Because that looks ridiculous.
I mean, the game itself is going to cost you 70 quid on PC alone. So,
my God.
Its recommended specs aren't too ridiculous. I mean, it's recommended like a graphics card a couple of generations ago, like a 30 series NVIDIA. So
I mean, the first game ran on a PS4, I suppose, didn't it?
So... Yeah, true. Yeah. And even an Xbox. You can
forget they exist.
Yeah, I know. No one plays on them anymore. But there you go. Yeah, Kindred said to back up Dave, NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 AMD. So there you go. If you squint at your screen a bit, John, I'm sure it'll look fine on our potato PC. Oh, bless.
PC maybe mine.
Well, let's see what the critics said about this. So let's have a look. What scores have we got? So yeah, scrolling down. So Gozzo says an 8.5. Kizra says a 9. Danka says a 9. Hannah says 8.5. 7.5 from Chloe. WV says a 9. Emily says an 8.5. And she said, I can't make myself give it a 9. Chat, give us some scores. Flame says an 8. And literally watching this on an Xbox. Well, everything is now an Xbox, including my toaster, apparently.
Well, they've done away with that, haven't they?
Yeah, I know they've got rid of it.
Nothing's an Xbox anymore.
No, it's an Xbox anymore. But I'm gonna milk that for everything I can on this show now. I spent years slagging off PlayStation. Now it's a turn of Xbox. I'm going to slag them off for years to come. Retro Jazar, 7 out of 10. Gozzo's going to change to a 9. He's feeling pressurized because people are saying 9. iQuell's saying an 8. Dave, I'll start with you. What do you reckon?
I'm going to try 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah.
Ron?
So a chat was making me up my score a bit, so I was going to say a 9, but now that, but then I thought no 8.5. But now Dave said 8.5, so I'm going to join the chat and go with a 9.
Going with 9, okay. Xbox did make a toaster, yes, and it did great toast,
and a
better
fridge
than its actual console. Yeah, and there was the Xbox fridge. Gozzo is cheating. Naughty, says Dave. People can change their scores, Dave. You watch Dave now saying 9. You watch. After that comment. Any more, folks? This is Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Chris Rea reference there for you. Which came out last Thursday on PC. Look. There you go. And if there are no more scores in the chat, I could tell you that when this came out on PS5, the reviews gave it 8.5. Dave's changing his score again. But this, on average, got, for the PC reviews, 9 out of 10.
Finally,
well done, John. Can we get a shout out for John? Get your tickets for OLL26 on April 11th not in Norwich. Go check it out. Tickets are on sale now. Links will appear in the chats. Well done, John, for getting that right. And
finally,
well done to and Dave goes, fuck, I changed my score. There you go. That serves you right. Gozzo, well done. You got that right. That peer pressure kicked in and it worked all right for you. Who else said 9? Kizra, well done. Danka, well done. And I think that was it. There was about 4 of you. So well done for you for getting that right. Shout outs are going out now. There are the links for OL. Get your tickets now. And our final game of the night, but definitely not the end of the show. And apologies that we are running a little bit late. But a game that came out today on PS4, 5, Switch and PC. This is our final game of the night. This is Ariana and the Elder Codex. There you go. This came out today. Dave, tell us a little more about this one.
This is yet another Metroidvania.
Yeah.
You haven't had enough already this year.
I know, we're getting absolutely hammered with them this year.
Yeah, it's like when we get all the JRPGs in past years. It's
yeah.
So far this year. In this one, your character is a librarian, and they have the power to enter some of the books in the library. And some of these books have been altered in some way, which is I think stopped magic being present in the world. So your character's got to go into each book and try and restore it back to its original self to restore magic. And I think what they're sort of doing when you go into each of these codex is because they're different books, they're going to have the different biomes and stuff in there, so it gives them a chance to mix up what you're going to be facing in each book. But yeah, it looks all right from what I can tell. I said there's plenty of Metroidvania to choose from. I've seen other ones I'd probably play over this one, but for anyone itching for another one, there you go.
Okay. All right. John, your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, it looks good, actually. Looks interesting. The thing I do appreciate is you often get a lot of these types of games, these kind of nostalgic Metroidvania type games, and they go for like the pixelated aesthetic and try and make it look like Castlevania, basically. And this does seem to have its own identity, which I think is quite positive to see. I'd like to see more gameplay rather than sort of like half-second snippets out of it. Yeah. I'd like to just see like a whole level being played and see what the progress is like from the start of the level to the end of the level, how like often you get boss fights, that kind of stuff. But it looks pretty cool. Don't mind it at all. Looks interesting. I mean, it's not particularly unique in that you've got books and things and you enter them and that takes you to your areas and stuff. That's normal sort of stuff. But if the mechanics are good and if it's fun to play, then it's something I could maybe cast my eye on. So yeah, looks intriguing.
I do like a good Metroidvania, so this is also something that I wasn't aware of until, well, only a couple of weeks ago. This was on my list of games to consider for the talk show, and the reviews dropped. We would have possibly talked about this on next week's show, but the reviews dropped this morning, so I was like, let's give it a while. But I like the look of this, so this could be good. Let's have a look what people are saying in the chat. So the price-wise, 25 quid on the PlayStation, 27 quid on the Switch, and doesn't come out to PC for another 5 days. But there you go, which is another staggered release. 7.5 from Danker, 8 from Rock Muse. Chloe says a 7. Vagra says, I'll definitely check this one out. 7.5 from Gozzo. 5 weeks. Not date. What date was it did you put?
It says 29th of April.
Sorry, I thought you said 29th of March. Flipping it. I've misread that. Sorry, Kindred. God, you are going to have to wait a month then. 8 from Retro Zazar, 7.5. There you go. Kizra says, I'm not sure my channel is worth shouting out here. I've just got a couple of Spawn videos. Perfectly fine. You got it right. You get a shout out. Those are the rules. Kizra, 8. Flame, 7. Let's do this. John, scores. What do you reckon?
I'm going to say an 8.
8. Dave, what say you for the final game?
I was thinking an 8 as well, so I'll go with that.
Going with an 8. Why do staggered releases happen like this? Sometimes because they just put it on one platform and want to see if it does well, and then it can go to other markets. Or because sometimes some gaming companies are a bit more difficult to deal with than others, and there gets a delay, and therefore they can't. It's quite a pain in the ass to get a game out on all platforms in one go. Not going to lie. We discussed this a couple of weeks back with Lauren from Guildford Games, and she was saying how much of a bastard it is to get a game on a Nintendo Switch, even though she loves that console. So, that's many of the reasons why it can happen. Or they found a bug, yes, so then they've delayed it. There you go. As Danka said, there might be something that they've play tested all the others, and then on a certain version, there's a game-breaking bug and gone, oh, shit, we'll have to push this back. So many, many reasons. That's it, folks. If there's no more scores, iQuell saying a 7. Flame saying a 7. Kizra saying an 8. I can tell you that our final game this evening got a 7.5 out of 10. So you guys were close. You guys were close. But congratulations to Kindred, Gozzo, Danka. I think we were the only 3 that got that right. I think that was the case. Everyone was just either side of it. So well done, guys. You got it right. And that was our last game of the night. But before we end the show, as I said, we look at gaming charts each week, different gaming charts. We sometimes do the Steam charts, PlayStation, Xbox retail charts. But they have announced the best-selling games of the year so far by monetary value. Okay, so what people are, how much they've spent, blah blah blah. So this is a top 20. This is quite interesting because there's only a handful of games that have actually come out this year that are in that top 20. Can you guess what might be at the top of this 20? But here we go. At number 20, it's the Resident Evil Generations pack. At 19, it's Pokemon Legends Z to A. At 18, from a couple of years ago, Marvel Spider-Man 2. One of the new games from this year, number 17, My Hero Academia All's Justice. Number 16, Forza Horizon 5. 15, Ghost of Yoti. 14, another game from this year, God of War Sons of Sparta. 13, it's Diablo 2 Resurrected. At 12, it's Red Dead Redemption 2. 11 is Mario Tennis Fever, a game from this year. Number 10 is Grand Theft Auto 5. 9 is Dragon Quest 7 Reimagined, another game from this year. Number 8, Madden NFL 26, one of Dave's favourite games. At number 7, Battlefield 6. At 6, EA Sports FC 26. At number 5, Helldivers 2. 4, Minecraft. 3, Call of Duty Black Ops 7. Number 2, NBA 2K26. And the number 1 best-selling game of this year so far on monetary value is Resident Evil Requiem, which I'm really pleased about. So there's about 5 games from this year, only one of them being a Nintendo property. Interesting to see that even though with the retail charts that Mario Kart World has been bouncing from 2 to 1, Mario Kart World is not in there, interestingly enough. But for retail, purely retail, is doing well. But for overall monetary around the world, because this is what this is for, it's not in there. But yeah, very, very happy for that. But then things like Minecraft and GTA 5 still selling really well. They're never going to die, are they? We're going to get
everyone's
going forever.
GTA 5 by now.
Well, no, because they'll probably bring it out on the next generation of consoles, and we'll get that before GTA 6. So it's highly. Any thoughts, gentlemen, on this and chat? Let us know.
Yeah. Millions of 17-year-olds turn 18 every year and buy GTA 5. It's as simple as that. Every 6 or 7-year-old turns 8 and is old enough to get into Minecraft, you know? So those games will just go forever. Mario Kart probably gets hurt because it's bundled with consoles.
Yeah, there you go.
I wasn't even reading that. So presumably the value of Mario Kart World when it's bundled with a Switch is probably only about 30 quid or something.
Yeah.
Or they may not even count it if it's included with a console. But to be honest, my favourite game of the year so far is Resi Requiem. So I can't begrudge that being in top spot. It's an incredible game. Absolutely amazing.
We feel the same. So.
Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I think this year there's quite some big contenders for Game of the Year. But Resident Evil is at the top of my list this year. So, you know, we do a big Christmas show where we have the top 15 games of the year. And there's always something that always seems to stay with me for the year. But we'll have to see whether it's my number 1 game or Dave's number 1 game. Not that I'm trying to wish them away, but by December. So tune in for the December Christmas special at TNGC. There you go, Gozzo saying, I reckon Requiem will be a game of the year at the go. Yeah. I think it highly likely it will be, Gozzo. I think it will be in there with 4 or 5 other titles.
Will GTA qualify for game of the year this year?
Yes, if it actually comes out on the date it's set. If it does come out on that date. If it comes out in November, it can qualify. Even though they bent the rules for that with bloody the superhero story game that came out that should have been in and wasn't included.
Dispatch, you're thinking of?
Dispatch, yeah. So they bent the rules for that. So Dispatch is going to get featured, but I don't think that'll do anything because a year's gone by. The trailer qualified for awards last year. It did. So you go. If it does come out when it's supposed to, it will. If it gets pushed back, then no. So we'll see. But anything generally in December gets shifted for next year's awards. Because remember when Indiana Jones came out 2 Christmases ago, that wasn't categorized until last year's show. Unfortunately, didn't win anything, but that was a bloody great game.
It was, wasn't it? That was underrated. I loved that.
Yeah, loved it. And it featured in our top 15 games of the year for that year. So definitely. That is it, ladies and gentlemen. That is it for our show. Thank you so much to our amazing guest, Jon from OLL. Thank you for being
everyone.
here.
Thank you very much.
Do please go buy tickets for OLL on the 11th of April over in Norwich. It is going to be a jam-packed day. The links are pinned to the Twitch chat. I'm sure the links will go out on YouTube and Twitch chat once more. So if you want to get your tickets, get them because they are going fast. It's going to be a fantastic 12-hour event. And it's great to have OLL back. So, Jon, thank you so much for
no worries. Thank you
coming
very much.
back with a bang, mate. It's great.
And saying tickets are selling fast and all that kind of stuff, that is actually true.
Yeah.
I do expect that this event will actually sell 100% of the tickets.
Yeah.
So while I don't want to shill it too hard, because I don't think I need to, please do. If you do want to come and see Dominic Diamond and do all the good stuff that we've got lined up, there's a link around here. Just click on it, have a look at the info, do what you think. And I will very much look forward to seeing you. And of course, Mag as well. And Dave's coming too as well. Are you coming, Dave?
I'm not, I'm afraid. Just to put it with him.
What?
Yeah.
There's a free ticket. If you're free, I'll sort you out.
There you go. We'll sort you out, Dave, if you can get away from the missus. She'll allow you.
I'll let you know.
Let me know. We might have to make that happen. Day trip with Mag and Dave. There you go. So there we go. Thank you always. Speaking of Dave, to the one and only Dave, the co-host.
Always a pleasure, mate.
Thank you so much for being on the show. Also, thank you to all our mods for doing all the shout outs as always. I'm just bringing up next week's guest is a guest who's not been on the show for almost 2 years. We have got the wonderful Michael Mantis, who's going to be a streamer, Twitch streamer, who's going to be on our show. He's going to be doing some stuff live at our Twitch meet over in Manchester, which is actually the week prior to OLL. So that's going to be going on at Arcade Club in Bury. He's going to be one of our special guests at that event. So he's on the show next week. Reminder, tomorrow night, we've got 2 community nights this week because the way things are running. We are doing a Sonic Rumble party tomorrow night. And as I am a Sonic Rumble partner, I have prizes, in-game prizes to give away. It's a free-to-play game. It's on PC and mobile. Come and join us. It's better than Fall Guys. You may be able to win some prizes if you join in. And on Thursday, we are celebrating the new season of Fortnite because I am sponsored by Fortnite on Thursday. I've not been sponsored by Fortnite since Christmas. It is a really good season so far. I'm really enjoying it. So come and join us for those streams this week. That's it on YouTube. We're going to say goodbye to you very shortly. On Twitch, we're going to go raid someone. I'm hoping my stream deck works because last night it just oh bollocks! I've just said that, and now I've pressed the button.
Yourself, haven't you?
It hasn't done the update to Bar Raiders, and it doesn't want to do it. So I'm going to try. Oh, it's done it! It's done the update. Oh my God, miracles do happen. So let's see who we can raid. Thank you so much. All those links are there for all the tickets. Thank you, everyone, and also thank you to all of you who have been watching on YouTube and Twitch. Greatly appreciate for being here. Let's pick someone. Let's do this quick because I'm keeping Dave waiting. He's got to be up early, bless him. Let's go for... Tell you what, let's go for a guest that we had on the show a couple of weeks ago. We had Cheeky Tiffers on the show just over a month ago. Tiff is streaming. What the hell is she streaming? She is streaming... Oh, a game that we talked about. No, it's not. I thought it was that Ex-Voto game, but it's not. It's a game that came out 2 years ago that I actually thoroughly enjoyed, but was very underrated. Banishers, Ghosts of New Eden. So I like that game a lot. So let's go raid Tiff. That raid will start when the end credits have rolled. I hope that's working. There you go. I'll also drop her link in the Twitch chat. Thank you so much. All that leaves for us to say is, wherever you are in the world, have a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, and I shall see you back tomorrow at 8:30 for some Sonic Rumble party, because they've changed the name of the game for some fucking reason, God knows why. There you go. We're going to do that thing where we awkwardly wave, and then we'll say goodnight. Thank you so much. Good night.
Cheers.